Hello, fuckos, and welcome to this episode 51 of the Chris Hunter Comedy Podcast with me, Chris Hunter. Hello, how are you doing? Are you well? I hope you are. Have you had a good week? Mine has been pretty fucking spectacular. You guys might have noticed I didn't have an episode out last week. I can only apologise for that. However, I had a very, very good reason. I was, in fact, spending my Tuesday evening with the Mr. One and only best comedian in the world at the moment, Mr. Bill Burr. He was performing in Liverpool. I was there. I was laughing my nads off, both left and right. We're missing by the end of the night, so it was really good time. And the day before, we went to watch Les Mis in Manchester, so that was nice too. A couple of days booked off work so we can go do it, so that was nice. You know, spend some time having a little wander around Manchester before the show for Les Mis. That was good. I've not been to Manchester for ages, so we went to, you know, Chinatown and stuff like that, and I've been doing loads of Japanese cooking recently. I think I've told you about a few of the meals I've made. But that meant that I realised I was missing some ingredients to make things authentic, you know? Like, I needed some nice sake and stuff like that to add to some cooking and to make it all tasty and such. So we went to Chinatown. We got a bunch of bits and bobs, some really cool stuff. And it was good. They had these really weird things. Like, have you guys ever had mochi? It's like little... What is it? How would you describe mochi? It's going to sound gross when I say it. It's glutinous rice balls. And what I mean is it's like little balls that have been... They started off as rice and they get pounded like a shit ton into like this flour, which then gets water added to it and it turned into like a nice kind of... like a jelly. Not jelly. It's hard to describe without being vulgar. But either way, it makes these nice little sweet things. And anyway, we found these... they're like them but wrapped in cookie with chocolate chip on it, and they were really like, I had the first one and I was like, that ain't good at all. Why would anybody ever buy this shit? But then the next day I ate like 3 more and it's like, oh fuck, they're nice. And the day after, the other 3 went missing. So apparently they're really nice. It takes a second to wrap your head around the initial weirdness that is those the mochi cookie goodness things. But yeah, that was cool. So I got them from Chinatown. Bought myself a bottle of sake called whatever the brand is, Deluxe Sake. So you know straight away it's gonna taste like shit, because nothing that is deluxe has the word deluxe on it. Nothing ever. I don't think anything that's ever been a high quality of something has ever had the word deluxe printed right on there. You know, it's never how it works, ever. So yeah, I knew when I saw it, and also the fact that it was £12. £12 for almost a litre of sake. You know that ain't gonna be good stuff. But I didn't need it to be good stuff. I needed it to be stuff that I would put in my cooking, maybe have the occasional little sipple of from time to time. I had a couple of sipples, you know, it wasn't horrific at first, but then it started to taste like beef. And I'm no scientist, but I think in something that consists of rice and water, it probably shouldn't ever taste like beef. But you know, apparently, I've read up online. I've read some reviews that people have got of this particular brand, and they said it is, and I quote, literally the lowest quality sake that can be produced and exported from Japan. So there we go, folks. That explains it. That explains why it is not particularly great. But people said, even though it is lower quality, it's still nice. Just serve it warm, you know, because you can have warm sake and you can have cold sake. This is one that's meant to be warm, so no wonder it tasted a bit like beef, because I hadn't prepared it properly. I blame the blame on me. That's right, folks. I am victim blaming, but I'm the victim and the sake is my enemy. But yeah, so in Manchester was great. We went to Samsi for lunch. I thought I'd treat Charlie to a nice little date day. You know, we've not been out for ages, so we booked the day off work to have a wander around Manchester before we went to watch the show. So yeah, we went to Samsi, the Japanese restaurant in Manchester. Haven't been there forever. It's changed quite a bit. There's no shop downstairs now, you know. There's no little bento cafe down there, but there is still the main restaurant, and the food is great. I really enjoyed it. I had sushi, which I've not had for ages. I had some nice curry. Curry's always good. And other bits and bobs. Well, speaking of which, this week, I forgot to tell you, we went to the cafe at the end of the universe, like we always do, and Dark Side of the Spoon. This week, we got ourselves an afternoon tea, which was really nice. As always, it was amazing. And anybody who's even slightly peckish, go there now. And I think, I might be wrong, but I think they're still trialing Just Eat at the moment if you live nearby. So, you know, get on Just Eat, get that shit ordered, see how it goes. And if they're not trialing it, then I can only apologise for the misinformation. But you know what? I'm trying, aren't I? But yeah, back to Manchester. Rewind. We went to Samsi and I had delicious Japanese food. And then went for a walk. And it was nice, actually. I've never really... whenever I go to a city centre, I always look at the architecture because I love looking up... because I'm an artist by trade. I'm a 3D artist. So I always look at buildings and, materials on things and stuff and just try and establish in my head, how would I build that? And the amount of buildings in Manchester that look absolutely stunning, but really you can break them down into 6 or 7 pieces. So, there's no excuse for me not making them fairly sharpish. So it was kind of inspirational to be there. So yeah, such a lovely place. Really, really cool buildings. I look forward to going back again some point soon. But yeah, we watched Les Misérables in the Royal Theatre, Palace Theatre. I forget what it's called. The one by Oxford Street Station. Such a good show. It was the tour, and fuck, it was so good. It's a newer version, which I didn't realise. Which means that it's slightly more impressive. Is that the right word? Because in the past, Les Misérables I think it's technically classed as an opera because there's no speaking parts. It's sung all the way through. But what they used to do back in the day, as far as I know, is they just had mic stands on the stage and the person would come out in the costume. There'd be a set behind them, but it wouldn't be super fancy. And then they'd sing their bit looking at the audience, and they'd sing the way through it. But with this one, it was like a full proper stage setup and sets were changing. People were running around with, them sort of the hidden in the hair mics that they have in the West End. So it was so cool. There's a couple of techniques used in it as well, which I didn't even see happen, like a couple of special effects. And then things would happen and you'd say, oh shit, wow, that's cool. That guy's flying. How's he doing that? It's like magic. So yeah, that was awesome. I'd say if you get a chance to go and watch the Les Mis tour, I think it's going on for a while, if I'm not mistaken. They're definitely going to be in the Lowry in Manchester, which wasn't announced when we got our tickets because we got them back last June, I think it was. But yeah, go and see it. I mean, the Lowry will be amazing for it because they've got that massive stage. But go and watch it. It's so, so good. Take the tissues. But yeah, then, like I said, the day after we went to watch Bill Burr in Liverpool. We didn't spend the whole day in Liverpool. I had some stuff to do at home first. But we did go for food at Five Guys on the old Liverpool one, lad. I've not been there for a while. Sorry, I've got a blocked nose. That's why it sounds strange. Yeah, and... that was nice. It was nice to just have a little walk around. It was a really nice evening. When you get one of those evenings where it's not cold, it's just ooh, it's lovely. Nice little stroll in the weather. So me and the lady, we strolled around for a little bit. And then we went to watch Billy Boy in the old Philharmonic Hall, which is a really cool venue. But the problem is, last time we went there, we went to watch Rufus Wainwright. And Charlie has this problem of having massive legs. So she had her legs digging into the wooden chairs in front of her. So this time I made sure I booked the seats at the very top of the stairs at the very back of the hall. So they're guaranteed leg room because there's no chairs there. It is the top of the stairwell. And it's the only place in the whole damn venue that has this particular leg room. So I got them too. And I know it's not a massive venue, so it didn't really matter that we weren't super close to the front because, that's fine. It didn't need to be that close. We could see Bill, we could hear him. Fucking hell was he on point. You guys know, right? He's my favourite comedian. He has been for a while. And he's only getting better. And I have the utmost respect for that man because every single special he does it, then he retires that material, which I always respect in a comic. But he also likes to try and find something to improve about himself and about the way he works per special. He never really says what it is because he doesn't want to give away, his inner workings. But I think I can see some improvements in what he's doing. If that's even possible, because the man's a bloody wizard. But yeah, it was such a good set. And all the good news is that he's filming that set. I think it's today and yesterday in the Royal Albert Hall, which I'll speak more of in a minute. But yeah, he's filming it. So that means I'm going to get to see pretty much the whole of the set that I saw in person again, which happened last time when I went to watch him in Manchester last time. Walk Your Way Out came out fairly shortly after, and it was the same set, which is so cool because I love being able to relive the moment. And I have a bad memory, so it's nice to, be able to hear the jokes of oh shit, I forgot he said that. It was so funny. There's a couple of things that he said which I know he sort of went, oh, they're not going to be in the special, and then he went, fuck it, I'll keep it. But I feel like he's going to cut the stuff out. But you never know, dear. And yeah, it was just. it's such a good time. It's nice to see somebody in the age of everyone being so shocked by everything. You know, like, oh my God, you said that about a vegan. How can you say such a thing? Whereas he used to sort of, I think he's just one of these people who doesn't shy away. It's like, yeah, that's what I said. If you're insulted, fair enough. You know, that's fine. You can be insulted, but don't expect me to stop saying what I say and stop, you know, and change the way I say things because you don't align with the same thought processes as me. And I really admire that about him because there are some comedians who pander and change because it's like, you know, it's the trend. Oh, don't make fun of this kind of person because they're this and that. It's like, what? Make fun of whoever you want. Just don't do it with hate. You know what I mean? Like, if you actively hate someone, then yeah, it becomes like hate crime territory. But if you're just telling some jokes, which are funny, yes, every joke, well, a lot of jokes have got victims, right? And that's fine because there has to be a victim in a joke. You can't sit there and laugh at everything throughout the entire set and then get pissed off when it comes to the part that affects you. That's almost a direct quote from Bill himself. And I completely agree with that, you know. So it was really cool to see that he's just not at all backing off. He's just, if anything, he's getting stronger with his opinions about stuff. And it's great to see. It's so refreshing. But yeah, I was so happy to see him, and I'm glad he's doing well. He said that he almost blacked out on the day of the gig because he'd been in 2 saunas and then wondered why he was feeling woozy. I'm gonna guess it's, you know, you need fluids, love. That's how it works. But yeah, so Bill Burr is so good, and also he was, like I said, he's playing the Royal Albert Hall. I think it's tonight and yesterday, or it was yesterday and the day before. But he's filming both days to do a new special, and the fantastic news is that the almighty Adam Rowe from Liverpool, from the Hot Water Comedy Club and places of that sort, is opening for him on both nights, or should I say opened for him on both nights. And that's fucking stunning. I'm so happy for the guy. You know, he's a really good comic. He's, you know, a fellow Scouser. He sounds a lot more Scouse than I do, granted, but and he's a much funnier one. But it's to see such a great guy getting somewhere, like, you know, to that kind of level. It's just really reassuring to know that there's still some good decisions being made out there. You know, you see so many stupid decisions for shows getting pulled off Netflix that are obviously popular, or, you know, food's getting stopped because certain groups don't agree with them, or whatever it is. It's nice and refreshing to see some good decisions being made. You know, so that's nice to see. That's really is nice to see. I'm not going to be on for too much longer today because, as you might be able to hear, for some reason, about half an hour ago, I started to get ill. My throat's hurting quite a bit right now. But I've also got a shit ton to do. I've got some personal work I need to do. I've got an event going on Monday that I need to prepare for, which my phone is now going off telling me, do some work, which I'm going to do. Shut up, phone. But before I go, I wanted to just give a little shout out to the passing of Keith Flint from Prodigy. Sadly, he passed away over the weekend. He took his own life, and he was 49, which is no age, man. But he was on his own, and, you know, that sometimes I think that's what happens. You know, when the demons come, if you're on your own, it's a lot harder to deal with. So anybody out there who has any kind of problems with mental health or any of that stuff, if you're feeling anything cropping up, please tell someone, tell anyone, knock on a neighbour's door, ask for some sugar, ask for a chat. You know what I mean? Just anything you can do to just get yourself near somebody else. That's what you need to do, just to try and break that cycle a little bit, you know? Try and get some sort of light back in that dark tunnel, because it's possible. It's always possible. But the problem is, people in that moment genuinely feel it's the best thing to do for everybody else around them, and it's not. And, you know, if they were here to see afterwards the effects that it has, they'd realise, oh shit, yeah, that was the wrong choice. But in the moment, it seems right, and it's not. So yeah, folks, if you ever need anything, get in touch with somebody else, even if it's me. You know, that's fine. But anyway, to leave things on a slightly happier note, I guess, I have just had a load of pancakes. It's pancake day, so, you know, share a pancake with a friend. If you see, you know, if you've got a friend who you're not spoke to for a while, you're wondering how they're doing, don't just be awkward about it. Invite them around for some pancakes. Have a little chat, you know what I mean? So, anyway, folks, that is me for the evening. I need to go and do a whole load of work now. But remember, folks, if you've got any questions to ask me or any suggestions, or you just want to hurl some insult at me, you can do so on any of my social media platforms, or flatploms, whatever you want to do. I am Chris Hunter Comedy on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, and I am at ChrisHunter.com, short for comedy, on Twitter. So thanks a lot for listening, folks. I will see all you beautiful barstools next week. Bye-bye now. Slow pause and stop.